resonates with me so much because it demystifies the complexity of Tibetan issue in the most effective and authoritative way. So I want to focus on a few points as what really struck with me. Earlier, some of you mentioned about the Dalai Lama meeting Chairman Mao. His Holiness Dalai Lama, when meeting Chairman Mao in the 1950s, Chairman Mao said to His Holiness, when coming to Beijing is coming to your home. So whenever you have any questions, whenever you have any problem, let me know. I will just help you deal with it. His Holiness Dalai Lama wrote 3 letters, and none of them were responded by Chairman Mao.
Okay, Georgina, here we go.
When I was around my daughter's age, around 16-year-old, in Tibet, in eastern Tibet, once I visited a relative's house where I saw Dalai Lama's first book, My Land and My People. Flipping through the pages of that book gave me the courage to leave Tibet and escape into an exile. So now today, I have read this book and reflecting on this book. And I want to set an example, as I often encourage my daughter to read books. And I have read the book, and I can pass the test of this book if any of you ask me questions. So, as all of you readers has a different perspective in reading a book, so my takeaway from this book is that this book is a one-stop shop for anything related to Tibet. If anyone wants to know anything about Tibet, about His Holiness Dalai Lama's taking over the temporal powers in Tibet, China's policies in exile, as well as what he has done on international stage, and so on. So I realized that after having read My Land and My People, as well as Freedom in Exile, this book is really one-stop shop for anything that you want to know. Even if you don't read the previous 2 books, reading this will be suffice. It gives all the information you need to know about Tibet. So, what this resonates, the book resonates with me so much because it demystifies the complexity of Tibetan issue in the most effective and authoritative way. So I want to focus on a few points as what really struck with me. Earlier, some of you mentioned about the Dalai Lama meeting Chairman Mao. His Holiness Dalai Lama, when meeting Chairman Mao in the 1950s, Chairman Mao said to His Holiness, when coming to Beijing is coming to your home. So whenever you have any questions, whenever you have any problem, let me know. I will just help you deal with it. His Holiness Dalai Lama wrote 3 letters, and none of them were responded by Chairman Mao. So similarly, and then coming down to 1980s, there was this exploratory delegations. So we have one of the distinguished persons, Titonanja was one of the delegates at that time. I also was very happy to be that he was such an important figure in history. And then Deng Xiaoping, General was meeting with Deng Xiaoping, His Holiness Dalai Lama's elder brothers meeting with Deng Xiaoping, except independence, anything else is negotiable. So based on that, then there was this middle way approach. His Holiness Dalai Lama came up with middle way approach. And the middle way approach was met with much resistance, even in exile even in exile communities. So what I think today is that anyone who reads Tibet, this book will be reassured. What His Holiness Dalai Lama said is that even those people, even though I don't disagree, I disagree with those who were pursuing independence, he has the utmost admiration for them. And he particularly mentions the name of Tibetan Youth Congress as, that it's their right to fight for independence. So it was very reassuring, because there was one time where the Strasbourg proposal came out, and His Holiness even mentioned Tatsi Rinpoche's name in this book, how his Tatsi Rinpoche was so against the middle way approach, and even to the point of saying it is a sell out. I think this is not very easy for His Holiness to bring all these things up. And then His Holiness also mentioned about the passing away of Panchen Lama. His Holiness mentioned, how Panchen Lama was such a powerful and effective ally on the ground in Tibet, and how he feels so sad when he's passing away. And then I will try to summarize now finally. Then he also talked about how it was such a pleasant surprise for the Kamapa's defections to an exile, into an exile. And then His Holiness, I was also very interested to see that even the picture of the Six River Four Range Commander-in-Chief, Andrew Mupodashi's picture was highlighted pictures put in this books, because this book has the endorsements of Gadin Pota, His Holiness Gadin Pota. And I really don't know if this book can be called an autobiography or biography, or what genre is this actually. But it's so compelling, as they all mentioned. His Holiness Dalai Lama, eventually he said that he left no stone unturned in terms of in resolving the Tibet issue, but the Chinese leaderships lacked the will and courage. And he said, within his lifetime, if Tibetan issue is not resolved, then it is the Tibetan people, particularly the Tibetans inside Tibet, as well as 200 million Chinese Buddhists, will blame the Chinese leaderships for not accommodating to such a important conciliatory approach by His Holiness Dalai Lama. And then finally, as they already mentioned, the appeal, how His Holiness Dalai Lama appealed to everyone here is that he still remains optimistic. He's hopeful that he says we have a sizable population of Tibetans in exile. We have a democratic system of governance in exile. And the Tibetan people's spirit inside Tibet is still very indomitable. It's very strong. And so the Dalai Lama institution is only about 500 years old. And the Tibetan history and the people have a long history of over millenniums. So even he passes away, the Tibetan movement will remain. And however, what he said is, I think it's also a very stark warning to China that if China don't come the other halfway, he's already coming the halfway, and he's expecting the Chinese to come on the other halfway, and if still they don't, then the Tibetan issue will remain intractable for generations. And then finally, again, it's so optimistic that he urged us to remain hopeful, never lose hope. If you fall 9 times, get up 9 times. And so this is a book that every Tibetan became so popular among Tibetan exiles. Everyone is just buying and just pushing out it on Facebook, but it's not something just to show off. It really needs to be discussed and need to be debated, and I'm so grateful for Dr. Kashiraji and Marchi and all of them for putting this together, and for us giving the honor to discuss this and reflect on it. And I have much things to say, but I will end it here. Thank you very much.